Hello, and welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be your host, the Irrelevant Nerd, and today we're going to be reviewing Man of Steel. This is going to be the last movie we watch before I get a chance to go watch the newest Superman movie. I've decided I didn't really initially want to rewatch Superman 2. I think I'm gonna, just because of how much I enjoyed the first one, and then I don't know, maybe I'll watch the third and fourth one and do like a ranking or something, but we'll see, because they're hard watches. But anyways, so back to Man of Steel. My initial impression with this movie when I saw it was I liked it, didn't love it. Went and saw it in the theaters opening night. Didn't watch it again until I think right before Batman v Superman came out, and I enjoyed it a little more. And then back right before the Snyder Cut came out, which was in, was that 21? Oh my god. Anyways, I decided to rewatch it again, liked it a little bit more. But now it's 4 years ago, decided to give it another rewatch. It's a movie I've only watched a few times, because I do enjoy it, but I'm not super drawn to it. And this time, as I was watching through, I felt like, I don't know, because I just so recently rewatched the other one, that my opinion did shift on this one a little bit. So we start with the intro on Krypton, which is very epic and otherworldly and looks pretty cool and has some great shots. But I find that entire segment, one, to be slightly too long. Two, it does really just kind of feel like an exposition dump in big chunks of it. And I mean, but right off the bat, there are things to enjoy. The casting is great. Russell Crowe, I think, makes a good Jor-El, and he did a really good job. I didn't love his characterization, especially in this beginning scene when he's like beating people down, which I understand he could be a trained dude, but like Jor-El is kind of the scientist, and he's very much just another action hero dude in this one, and he is cool, but it's not my favorite characterization. Let's say that. I don't know if it's bad, it's just not my favorite. Really love Michael Shannon as Zod. I think they actually do a pretty good job with his characterization. Like, really the only thing I don't love is his Zod's a little shouty. Like, I will find him! I will find him! And it's like, we get it. We heard you the first, we get it. But other than that, I think he does a good job, and I think the characterization is very good, and his motivation is very sound in the movie. He is one of those bad guys who does view himself as the good guy because he was born specifically to protect Krypton, and that is what he's doing. And so I find all of that really, really well. And so we get past the intro, and it's a non-linear story, which it's fine. I don't love it mostly because I think it drags the pacing in a few spots. But we'll talk more about the pacing later, because there are issues here. But it's a non-linear story. It kind of shows the Kents a little bit, and I do like them for the most part. I find some of their characterization really odd. I don't know. We'll get to that. So it shows, Clark, pre-Superman, in various states of rescue or helping people. Like, he's on an oil rig and he's helping people. It shows him kind of discovering his powers at school when he's a kid, and he gets scared and runs and hides in the closet. And he's saving the bus. And during these flashback scenes, the soundtrack is pretty good. The movie looks pretty good, and the soundtrack kind of has a certain vibe to it, of this kind of sort of grittier look. Like, the movie almost just kind of has a texture to it. Like Superman's suit is very texturized in this movie. It reminds me a lot of the Amazing Spider-Man suit that was very textured, and then even the Ben Affleck Batman suit obviously has a whole bunch going on when you look at it, and this kind of established that. And but anyways, so it is going through all these past scenes, and it gets to one of the most controversial scenes, at least from what I've seen online. The what was I supposed to do? Let them die? Well, yeah, maybe. I This is one of those things I kind of hate to talk about because you see people online who love it, that they're like, oh, the only reason that you don't love it is because you're too stupid to fucking understand it. And actually, no. Like, I understand kind of having a Jonathan built with more, I don't know, fear, but I don't love it. I don't love the scene. I don't hate it like a lot of people do, but I do get why it bothers people. And it just kind of, I feel like Jonathan Kent is always kind of telling him traditionally to help people, but you have to be smart about it and you can't reveal yourself. But I don't know. This John Kent, he's acted well, but like the characterization is off. Martha, Diane Keaton, she's wonderful. I think she does great. She's a great actress. I think she nails it here. But I do think the Let Them Die, like, I get why people think it's weird. So we go from there into the intro with Lois Lane. She's coming and to look at this potential craft in the Arctic. And, or not the Arctic, I think it's, what is the North Pole? Well, where? I think it's the North Pole. Actually, no, I want to jump back because now that I'm thinking about it, there is a scene right before this where it shows Clark as an adult man in a bar trying to help this girl when this guy's being a total douche to her, and he tries to like push Clark down, and it's really funny because the dude ends up like sliding backwards, and like if I was that dude, I'd be like, I'm not gonna fuck with this guy, like what the hell was that? But he ends up throwing a can at him, and then Superman destroys his truck, which I actually found a little bit odd because Superman is not really like a revenge built character. And this is like an older Clark. Like, he's not a child. Like, he's an adult man with a functioning brain who shouldn't act so impulsively as to just like ruin somebody's like $80,000-$240,000 investment and potentially their career, lose them their job. Like, yeah, the guy was a dick, but like that to me did not scream very Superman. So I didn't love that. So now we go to the Lois intro, and I don't like Amy Adams. I think she's a little bit better than the actress from the Superman 1978 and all four of those movies. But I don't know. I think she was a little miscast. Like, the portrayal of her character is okay. She's a little spunky. She's got a little cringe. I don't know why the movies have such a hard time kind of nailing her characterization. I think it's something a lot of the animated movies and shows do really well, and I don't know why they have such a hard time. And like her even initial kind of like meeting and infatuation with Superman, it's weak as hell. Like, it is so underdeveloped. They're like, you cannot convince me otherwise. Like, I understand instant attraction, but like, I don't know, it's a little ridiculous. But he gets onto the ship, meets his dad's like hologram soul conscience whatever, and he explains some stuff about Krypton and his purpose and about what he's going to do. It's a very classic Superman thing. The way that it was done here, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. It just kind of felt like like an exposition dump, which like you could argue that the one in the Superman 1978 movie is kind of just a exposition dump, but like it's done with the floating head and Jor-El, and it's got like the special effects going on in the background. Like, this is just two dudes talking, and then like he emerges out with his suit, and it does look incredible, and he's Superman all of a sudden. And I feel like it could have been done just a little bit better. But so we jump back to Metropolis. Lawrence Fishburne is a great Perry White. Yeah, I love him as an actor. I think he does a really good job here. Like, this is one of those things that's very similar to the 1978 movie, because with like right before they go back to Metropolis, the first time you see Superman, and it's about 40 to 50-ish% of the way through the movie. It's very similar. Like, they very much hold Superman back until, Superman comes out. And then the later half of this movie is very Superman dominated. Like, I think it's almost like exclusively Superman, except for maybe 1 to 2 scenes after he becomes Superman. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention, but that's what it seemed like. And, him discovering his powers scene, it's effective enough. The flight looks cool. The special effects in the movie, for the most part, look good. They kind of start to fail a little bit during the fights in the third act, but nothing too bad. And overall, I do like the look of the movie. And so, Lois eventually is able to track him down after he helps her when she gets injured in his ship. And I do like that she is a good investigative journalist in this movie. I thought they did nail that part pretty well. She's smart, she's quick, like, she gets there. I did like that. And then we get to the scene where his dad dies. Maybe the most controversial or second most controversial. Now that I'm thinking about it, can't really tell between this one or the let them die scene. This is another one I understand why people don't like it. I actually have no problem with it being a scenario in which Clark cannot save his dad. I don't mind that. Like, it doesn't have to be a heart attack. I don't mind that. But I need it to be something that makes a little... I feel like I need something that isn't so obvious to kind of think out of it. Like, Superman can quite literally move in the blink of an eye and just could have, made his dad look like he disappeared. And then when people see him a few days later, they're like, oh, no, yeah, I got hunkered under a car and it turned out I was fine. But just kind of standing there and letting him get wiped out like that, I'm like, I don't know, you could have... I feel like there was a better way to do that scene. I didn't think it was handled the best. I don't hate it. Like, it doesn't ruin the movie for me like it does for some people. But I get why people don't like it, because it is kind of silly. And then, I don't know, they're hanging out in this underpass as the tornado is coming towards them. And after Jonathan dies, the scene just cuts back, but the tornado is headed right towards those people. And underpass or not, there's gonna be shit flying in the air, and I don't know, they're just kind of standing there at the side, even though you can see shit flying in the air. I don't know, the whole scene, it is silly. I 100% get why some people just hate it, because it's not the best. When Zod comes to Earth, does his little announcement on the TVs and the radios, and it's all, you can't tell who he is, and the voice is ominous and crackling, and I thought that was super cool. Very horror movie especially when Clark's walking back into his house and the TV's all staticking. Loved it. Thought it was super cool. And again, I think they do a good job with Zod in this movie. It's probably my favorite live action Zod that we've had, and I don't know if it's particularly close. Basically, so he tells Earth, you have to surrender Superman. Superman chooses to self-surrender. There's a little bit of comedy with the military, when it shows he could really break out when he wants, and he's using his X-ray vision on him, and blah, blah, and he chooses to go, and Lois goes with him, and pretty much from this point in the movie, which is about 60% of the way through, it's basically a non-stop conflict for the remainder of the movie, whether it's initially speaking with Zod until it turns into this huge action piece, big old destruction, very very comic booky, but I don't... This is what I said, when I said earlier that there were issues with the pacing. This is what I'm talking about. The ending of the movie, it drags on, even though there is stuff constantly going on that is exciting. The movie is 40% final action scene. That's not how movies should be, and it keeps going kind of from character to character and little plot and what they're trying to do, and it just goes on way too long. And I I don't, yeah, I don't know. I there's a lot of stuff that goes down. Like you have more Jor-El as like a hologram superhero dude who's helping Lois, which is fun, but also kind of, I don't know. I don't know. The music that plays during like this whole thing, like especially when Henry Cavill's like boosting up through the machine that's starting to terraform the Earth, great score. Like it's really good. I don't think it's as good as Superman 1978, but it is very impactful, in particular in that scene. And during that scene, actually, this might be my favorite thing in the whole movie. It shows Perry and another reporter trying to get this third reporter out from under some rubble, and they looks like they're not going to be able to. And Perry like turns and just grabs her hand and like makes eye contact with her to try to like comfort her. And I don't know. I just really like that moment. I don't know why. As I was rewatching through, I was like, that's good shit. So yeah, it's probably my favorite moment does come during that, but it's too long, and it is just a lot of stuff blowing up, and it's big for the sake of being big. There's not a whole bunch of like memorable choreography that I'm like, oh yeah, but like, you remember that time that like he flips Zod and then like punch him in the back of the neck. Like there's nothing like that. It's just a lot of punches, fast flying, throwing into buildings, throwing shit on top of each other, like flying super fast into each other and doing like this kind of like, you know, hit stick tackle. It's a lot, and it is blockbuster slop, and that like really is the main criticism from a lot of people with this movie. Is it starts strong, slow, has this kind of gritty tone, and then it just blows up into this huge blockbuster fight where people are very clearly getting hurt, getting blown up, and like really the only time that you see Superman care is when Zod is getting ready to like laser those people down, and like there we go, it's probably like the third most controversial. Maybe, I don't know, they could all be tied for one. Let me know what your ranking of them is. But he breaks General Zod's neck. This is another one that I am actually fine with it. I'm fine with him having to kill him, but like again, the way that it was done, like Superman definitely had other options in that moment, because he's kind of like headlocking him, but he could, you know, grab him and fly straight up into the air and try to like get him out of the city, which he should have been doing this whole time anyways. And like, had he done that, this would not be an issue. But you know, fly up, like barrel down into him. Like there are other things that you could have done in that moment. And I don't know what the scenario would have been that would be better. I'm not that type of creative guy, but it just didn't, I don't hate it, but there were other solutions that Superman would have taken, I feel like. So the way it's done, silly. And then the movie ultimately wraps with him going and finally joining the Daily Planet as a reporter, and like Lois gives her a little grin, kind of, you know, happy that he's there, because they're obviously so in love, because they had so many great love scenes in this movie. Like when they kiss, it's nothing. Like I felt nothing. Anyways, so overall, this was the first time I had rewatched it that I actually liked it a little less than the last time I watched it. And I do think it is because I watched Superman 1978, because that really is, that's a Superman movie. It really is so good. This one, it's not bad. There are a lot of things that I do love about it, and I definitely will watch it again. I would say on a scale of 10, it's an 8. 8, like a 7.8, 7.9, 8. I wouldn't fault anybody for having it really there. Like, if you do love it, I understand there are some cool things, but I don't know. There are just a lot of obvious flaws with the filmmaking. Like, I love Cavill as the character, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a little darker, a little brooding. I can get behind it, just, again, the script does not serve him the best. So, yeah, I'll split the difference. I'm going to go 7.9 out of 10 for my official rating. I do think it's worth watching if you are a Superman fan, but let me know what you guys think. If you've seen it, is this your favorite Superman, least favorite Superman? Are my gripes bad? Like, are there things that I'm missing in the movie? Because I am totally open to that, because there are people that love and defend this movie. So if you want to educate me, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.